Alright, welcome back. Listen to what me tell you. Get extra spark plug tube seals. Them little rubber rings that keep oil out the spark plug tube rings. Why? Because you can damage the new ones inadvertently while trying to install them. I recommend, if you're going to do your valve cover gaskets with the spark plug tube seals, you put the spark plug tube seals in the freezer the night prior or at least a couple hours prior to installing the new ones so it could shrink. So that way you can use 4 fingers, 2 hands, center it, push it down as far as it'll allow you to go before needing assistance from a rubber mallet and an old seal.
Okay, here's a tip. When you're gathering your supplies and parts and tools for a job, if you can't find something that you're supposed to have, get it another day. I had this in my drawer for how long? Maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And I need RTV sealant, where it has a plastic tip that has different measurement size for beads where you can cut it. It's a little bit more tacky than this stuff. This stuff is gasket maker. It's better for case halves. You understand? It's better for case halves. It looks like putty. It will not lead a bead that I need, like RTV. So with that said, you live and you learn. All right, we got some silicone, right? Gasket maker oil resistance, and this is gasket maker high torque. This one is ideal for, not just case halves, but it says silicone RTV on it, whatever. This one is more like oil pans and transmission pans and diff covers and stuff like that. But it still comes with that, so it leads me to believe it's a little bit thicker than the other stuff that I had. So, alright, so valve cover gaskets, it's like stripping off layers, right? You see everything that could be in your way. No. What I see with the valve cover lines up with the timing cover. Some valve cover jobs are easy. Some of them are, say I took those 2 off right there. So, took the cover off. Now you get to see, Okay. Yes, the coil pack in the back. I'm just looking, first off, this could probably pop that off. It's hard, it's brittle. This holder here for these lines, they run along here. I could probably just take the cover, like just undo it. Cover should come straight up. Let's move it back. This right here, whatever this thing is, I gotta get up under there and see what's under there. So, okay. So now we focus on this cover right here, which has these long screws, sleeve screws. I just leave them in there and just pick the whole thing up, like. Okay, picked it up. There's about 4 of these. So far, I've been using the size 10. Now, as you can see.
Now, don't get upset. Yes, the other coils are held in by the same long bolts that go through the plastic cover. And I guess they did that to reduce use of bolts. So yes, there is 4 bolts for the coils. 2 just happen to be part of the plastic cover.
Okay, we're back. We're back in effect. 10mm, 10 monster meter. Okay. So You know what they tell you about leaving these coil packs alone with pressing these tabs? I pressed 2 of them. They both cracked. Even when I raised them up like so and raised them out, just because they're accessible doesn't mean to bother them. So I'm gonna try taking this whole rack with the coils and lay it over. Should have did that first. So this continues all around the back, and if you can see, hold on, give me a second. We got plugs back there. Might have zip ties if somebody's been there before. And yeah, just gingerly go back there. I'm looking. Right back there. You got some stuff to unplug. VTech solenoid. Okay. That one and the other gray connector that I previously showed you. Time management. So I took a flathead. I tried to work them all loose while pressing it. Some of them cracked, some of them didn't. I mean, at this point, whatever, unless you're gonna find a new wire and harness section for that. They should still work. Those are just like weather protecting covers, connector holder thingies. So I guess that can stay where it's at. Why? Because this back here, this harness back here has this little clip that go into the back of this metal thing. And if you know the tabs, how you have to squeeze them on both sides and push them out, yeah, I ain't got time for all that. So tried flathead screwdriver. My needle nose pliers are somewhere, but yeah, the show must go on. So now, what's up? But before I do that, I'm gonna lift up, pick out all the plastic and debris, and try to brush it off with a rag or something, so that way nothing gets down in the spark plug tube. And yeah, this here too, because that cover has to come up and away. So alright, so since I'm not in the mood for getting a tensioner, sliding the belt off, undoing the mountain bolts for this power steering pump and line as a whole to move it wherever, I'm undoing the 2 power steering pump line, high pressure line bolts, and just let it drain a little bit, let it drain back a little bit, and just move the damn thing somewhere. Move it somewhere. Up here, down there, don't care. Just move it somewhere. Alright, good idea. That is a great idea. You might have to take some pliers and work it back and forth, stick some small flathead in there, work it around just a little bit, do like that a couple times, and then pull them off. There's a clip here. There's a clip here like that. And what it is it's not a squeeze it to spread it. It's actually get 2 small partitions up in there and spread them yourself. It's a small little safety ring. It has its own clamp load, and you have to go in and actually try to ajar it and then move it off of the hose, which I did. So okay, cool, fine, whatever. And then after you get the hose off, you can pull that ring out on the bottom one and make sure, keep it somewhere safe. I mean, if not, then just get small clamp or something just to put back there, or if you have extras of these in that size, that would be great. So now we're moving freely a little bit more. You don't want to mess up anything that wires are connected to, so make sure you give like a little test tug. And yeah, it's got some little connection back there, little zip tie holding something, but I'm pretty sure like I can get like something to hold that away from this, because right now it's just a whole bunch of undressing it. It's attached to a whole lot of stuff over here. Do I really want to move it that bad? I mean, I just need to move it away, so that way it gives a little space from taking this thing straight up. That's it. So right now, I don't even know why I disconnected all that. I'm learning. First time, so hey, it is what it is. Listen, Tap with the mallet till it start sounding hollow, right? When you hit it, that'll change. The sound will change. I'll make sure that's popped up. Make sure all of these are popped up. I yank on this a little bit. You see a lot of movement. And guess what? Right up in here, if you got yourself a pry bar, why do you think they put that there? That little two-step. Look, power steering plug, flathead, and right up under that notch, you can sit there and break your seal. You don't have to mess up your valve cover sealing area where it mates up to everything. So let's do this together. Oh, I felt something move. Remember, you got spark plug tube seals to worry about. And there you go. You just broke your seal. I don't think this has anything to do with it. You just broke your seal. Remember, make sure it's up above that. Ah! My knuckles. God damn. I don't know why you hate me so much. I love you. Let's try this again. Just keep on. See? It's starting to sound like 10. It's starting to start hollow. You just broke the seal on a whole bunch of like RTV sealant. So work it. Oh. Alright. The moment we all been waiting for. Ooh, that's clean. I like that. Let's take a look at this. Alright, cool. So, while everything out there is semi-exposed or exposed, I'll cover it with some kind of plastic. First things first, I'll... Look at this old gasket up in here. Old gasket is black. We have RTV over here. Small dab. Small dab was back there. And I can tell this is the small RTV over here and over there. Alright, so as you can see, some RTV caked up in some corners on the inside, protruding outwards over there where them two parts meet up at, and right there. For the most part, it's not all that dirty. Like the whole lining of this thing is not really that dirty. Just gotta pick it out. Alright, I got a plastic thing for that. For the most part, this looks good. These cam lobes look immaculate right now. I'm liking this. I'm liking this. Ooh, look at that valve train. Ooh. Even the oil color that's, you know, residue right here is just, it's still looking good. And it's AMSOIL, so it better be looking straight. Going in here, these don't serve no purpose. I had to come all the way over here. You can see the cross, that little breather hose. I come over here in the corner and dig up in here. You're not really digging against the aluminum. You're really digging into the rubber and trying to gingerly pick at it every so often. And sooner or later, it will start to rise or break apart. And now, you know what I'm saying? Especially here in the corners, it is extremely tight. So let me just roll it forward and, you know, that's it. All the seals are out. I'm using some of this to clean it. I'm using that mixed with some of this to clean it. And if that don't work, I have some orange pumice hand cleaner. I'm pretty sure that'll make everything run off. Alright, and just like that, we're back. Yeah, this valve cover has like peeling going on with it. So, I mean, for what it's worth, it cleaned up most of all that oil residue that usually you would smell inside the vehicle. And I can live with all that. I want to get these spark plug tube seals in. I'll use some soapy water. Alright, gingerly. So on the last two I used like hand soap without water and rubbed it around. But I used the sanitizer on the inside. Why? Because hopefully the sanitizer will break down the soap a little bit, and whatever soap residue will not get in the oil and all that. So usually I would do, now this one here, I obviously pushed it down a little bit too far, it seems. It should still locate your spark plug tube, and it should still, but to me that's not even. I get it, but unless you have another one, do you want to risk that? These two here, the first two that I tried, they seem to can go down a little bit more until that lip is flush. And let's see, this side has to be prepped, cleaning. So that's what I do. Prep this side, get all the residue from all those corners, make a note of where the RTV is gonna go. So boom, right there, case half. Case half. Corner as well as back pool, so maybe like a little L shape. Corner as well as the back pool. That little L shape that comes around. So, see, these come in handy, any kind of like plastic edges, because even though this is for like trim separator, you could use at least a part of it, knocking down as much sealant as possible. So this sealant that's probably caked up on the inside, like in the corner, there's also sealant that might be run along the outside edge, you know. And when you think about putting your cover back on, you don't need anything holding this cover up or being sandwiched in there that's not supposed to be there. So aside from thinking about the surface, the mating surfaces itself, the inside, what's on the inside and what's on the outside, just go around, you know, knock it out of the engine. You don't want anything getting picked up by your oil sump. You're getting sucked in there and, you know, causing oil starvation of any sort. But if you can see in the back, all that oil that just pooled up there, just by a car sitting, and the oil just coming to a stop from moving. And it can happen, you know. So, trying my best to get everything away from the engine, going over all of this oil all the way up, knocking it out, you know, just trying my best to, not bad. A couple more passes. Okay, so what you have here now is just a buffed, clean edge. Even some of the grease that's not even part of that sealing surface, you just want to do your best to knock it away or knock it down. That's what I always do. I use the plastic gauge, I put a cloth around it, I buffed the area that had residue of RTV, and then yeah. Ice treatment is just about done, so I can use that old little thing and just knock them down a little bit more. Let's see how far they go. We're back with the woes of trying to get this thing seated as furthest as possible. Now, I got most of them down enough to say I can live with that. This one here is a casualty. Trying to hit the edge of it. I mean, it was lubricated from both sides. Yeah, nah, that's gotta come out. Gotta get some more. That's why I say I have extra valve cover tube seals, spark plug tube seals. So here we are after going to 3 different places, because sometimes they say they have it, when you get there it's not on the shelf. and I don't feel like waiting for a delivery for the next day, so I went to about a couple of places. Called 3 more places. They don't have it. So it's not the Felpro, but this is what I want. The Felpro can be this. I'll be glad. But this is what I'm looking for. So I'll toss these in the freezer. Hopefully they'll shrink. Give it like a good hour or two. And then we'll regroup and try again. I'm going to just put the whole pack in the freezer. That's what I'm talking about. When you freeze them, you can use your fingers and just press them evenly in there and push them down as much as you need to without even using a hammer. You could basically evenly set it, after you lubricate the area and then lubricate it, you just push it right in by finger. And now look. Huh? As opposed to these here that just don't want to do right. I mean, I pushed that one in enough. It was this one that came out the freezer. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, definitely don't forget to freeze those. Haha. Put just the slightest lubricant on this so it can slide on. I don't know how the oil is still making its way to the back, but I had to go back and wipe. I had to wipe off some touched up areas where oil was mixing with silicone, but yeah. I mean, for the most part, it's in there. It's on there. Oil didn't mix with that bead that comes around, so I'm happy about that. This side here, that's good. I think I should add just a little bit of dot on that. I could put it on the cover itself. There and there. That's it. Time to put it on. It should have cured for like 1 minute already. Alright, 5:26 is the set time. I mean, yeah, it's still got to be torqued. But as you can see, you walk it over this thing, just try to keep it even, and you will see the spark plug tube seals actually start to roll up and open up for these tubes. Right? The tubes come all the way up to where the coil pack tops should be sealing against it. So it's kind of like a sandwich seal. The coil pack sticks in, it has its round seal, and it seals the inside, and then you got spark plug tube seals to keep majority of the splash engine oil away. So now what I'll do is I just go around and tap it little by little. Alright, cool, boom. These things, I've been doing crisscross and all that, and 2x2 and 1x2 and skip some, and they tighten up like this. Like they tighten up at a certain point. So I just snug them up and leave it alone. I snug them up evenly, like equally. So that's fine. It's torque, damn it. I'm gonna wipe all of that shit off. But we got them Denzos though. Part number 099700-116R. Now, I don't know if these are knockoff copies or these are real deal, but bro, I don't know. Wow, bro, they just blew my mind. So check this out. These might have to go here, and this one might have to go here. Why? Because look at this. Where do you think this is supposed to sit? Where do you think that screws down into? Look where it lines up at. Bro, they just keep blowing my mind, dog. Like, so I'm thinking that somebody just threw 2 bolts out and said, I don't give a fuck about it. In all actuality, the bolts was always there. Wow. Impressive, Honda, impressive. And there you have it. So everything else is just plug and play. All your covers, all those hoses, everything that attaches to the valve cover itself on the driver's side. Just check for all your bolts. Make sure you got nothing left that has to go on. And make sure all the hoses have their clamps
and make sure all the tabs that you unplug go back where it mounts at. And I see, I let this car cure overnight. I didn't drive it that night, so that way it can seal good. I mean, some people, they go to a shop and get this done and they turn the key and start driving from there. Maybe it cooks the RTV, who knows? But for the most part, I let cure overnight. So other than that, I checked it a couple days after. Everything good. No smell on the headers, no smoke. And, cleaning it every so often from other repairs, getting like power steering fluid in the back and stuff like that. But for the most part, valve cover job done. Next on to other pressing matters. Rear calipers, rear rotors, rear brake pads. Transmission mount has well, it's not on this side, it's on that side. 3 parts to transmission mounting points. So yeah, I'll be little by little working on that. Bleed the brake fluid again for the rears, and then the front engine mount as well. And then that's about it. I mean, little by little, it's coming together. Yeah.